Welcome back to News at 10 with me, Edward Kwabi. Now, a cocoa party to convert for votes in all 34 constituencies in the Greater Accra region for the MPP has started in Ayawaso East constituency. Now, national youth organizer of the party, Samuel Oku, denied the move was to buy votes.
Scores of party supporters of the opposition New Patriotic Party converged at Nima to partake in the maiden edition of the Cocoa Party organized by the Loyal Ladies Club. The platform was to mobilize Zongo youth to vote massively for the New Patriotic Party ahead of the December polls. Organizers of the event led the parliamentary candidate for Ayawaso East to distribute porridge to the poor and needy people in the constituency. National youth organizer of the party, Sami Ewuku, denied the initiative is to persuade electorates for their votes.
We are not telling them take this and vote for us. That hasn't been our message. Our parliamentary candidate is embarking on this outreach to reach out to the less privileged in the constituency. And as a youth, when we felt that it's important, we give him that hand of support.
Parliamentary candidate for the Ayawaso East, Peter Mreku, alleged the constituency has not benefited from the current administration, hence must be voted out.
One party is taking over this constituency and you cannot point out one single thing they have done. So this is the time that they should change. Let them try us. If they are not happy with us, go back to where you belong.
Co-founder of the club, Modestus Ajwa, said institutions and social intervention programs would be rejuvenated if Nanado is given the nod.
Nanado hasn't been president before, but we've seen him in several leadership positions in Ghana here where he has delivered. There's no doubt that when Nanado comes, everything is going to be perfect. Ghana is going to run again. Change is here. There's hope for Ghana under the New Patriotic Party.
The Cocoa Party was climaxed with a float to other communities in the constituency.
So tonight we are discussing vote buying. What constitutes vote buying? And can you say that what the MPP is doing is vote buying? We've been joined in the studios by Dr. Edward Brenya. He's a lecturer of the Department of History and Political Science with the University of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And he joins us in the studio. Good evening, sir, and thanks for your time on this at 10. Now, what we just saw was a number of people that MPP was feeding with cocoa. Can we say that is vote buying?
Absolutely. There's a way where you're trying to use material means to solicit for the vote of people. You are supposed to actually give them an idea of your agenda, your manifesto, let them know what you will do for them. If you are trying to say that just by feeding them, just giving them this material means, you're using that as a way of enticing, then, well, somebody might decide to give cutlass, somebody might decide to give sugar and other means, rice and other means, but it's definitely a form of buying vote. And I think I disagree with the official who said, no, this is not intended to buy vote. Now, the question is, will they give it to someone who comes in and is dressed in NDC, CPP colors? Will they do that? This actually meant for people who are their sympathizers, and I think it qualified as vote buying.
Now, this happens to be just cocoa or food for people to eat. Now, a few days ago, the president was in Axim and he gave out outboard motors at reduced prices as part of some interventions within the fisheries sector. The NPP did accuse the president and indeed the NDC government for vote buying. Will you say that this is a blow in their own face, considering the fact that they are also doing same?
It's the same thing. I believe at that time the NDC will respond and say, no, their social intervention, we are trying to help them to be able to improve in their economic activity. But it's not different. NDC is able to do that because they are in government, they have the resources, and therefore they can afford. MPP is doing it because they are not in government. That is what their resources could afford. And I believe both of them are actually buying votes. So when the MPP is accusing the NDC, I don't think what the MPP is doing right now is different. It's just that the amount of resources that they have determine what level that they will try to entice votes with material things.
Do you think that vote buying in itself can ever stop?
It can, especially in third world countries. In third world countries, because of the level of poverty, and because political parties do not say, I don't want to use the word value, but they don't want to use the right means to actually acquire the political capital. They would continue to resort to that. That is why, few months in election, we don't have a manifesto. We don't have it, and the excuses has been that, well, I don't want to put it out there so that somebody will steal my ideas.
Are you suggesting that some of these political parties resort to vote buying because they don't have any alternative policy within their manifestos that they are yet to launch?
Exactly. For me, the reason why, it's not that they don't have policies. They have promises. Promises that when you push them, they may not be able to defend. And because they're not ready to defend it, they delay it until when we get to the heat of campaign so that the media is not able to take them on. If the time is limited, you can take them on, and then they fly over. And then underneath this are the various means to buy votes. And that is how they entice the voters. But I think that it's a disservice to our voters. They need to actually campaign based on what they think that it will do for the people, the agenda for the 4 years, so that when we are holding accountable at the end of the 4 years, we can refer to the manifesto. But because many of the things that are listed in those books are vague, they have no idea how to actually achieve what they claim they are going to do, they think it's better to wait to the last minute. And when that happens, then they use other means of actually amassing votes to win the election.
But Doc, what do you make of argument by some electorates indicating that they don't get their share of the national cake? So this is the only period they're able to milk the politicians.
I think that is a very wrong argument to make. You see, I've always said that the moment you allow a politician to use material means to acquire your vote, the politician owes you no service. Because I come to you, I give you material things, you vote for me. It's a contract. The contract is that I give you something and then you return votes in return. So at the end of the election, the contract is ceded. I don't own you any responsibility to serve you as a parliamentarian or a president. Because that contract ended when I got elected. And because of that, our politicians don't pay attention to what we do. They know that at the end of the 4 years, he will come back with another means to actually engage in another contract, to actually convince you to vote for them. And that's why many a time our politicians, I think, do not take the electorate serious.
They do not take you serious, the electorate serious, because they know that at the end of the day, they can come and buy you.
They buy your vote. Once they're buying your vote, and once the vote would entice you to vote for me, why should I care about you after I've been elected?
Is there any link between vote buying and corruption, and what kind of link can you draw?
It is a form of corruption. You are corrupting the individuals. The individuals themselves are corrupting the means of electing leaders. And citizenry or electorate are supposed to serve as constant check on politicians. But because these politicians feel that they can come to us and give us material things so as to win our votes, it becomes even morally, sometimes it's difficult for us as electorate to actually be so hard on the politician because we feel guilty. Oh, he gave me something. I voted because I got something from him. The reason why in the developed countries, when signatures are passed around, when they sign signatures and they send it to a senator in the US or a congressman, that is taken very serious than it will be here, is because they don't have that contract. The contract is for them to represent them. I voted you into power to represent you. So when you are not acting in accordance to the contract that we have, which is representation, they can question you. But here is a different thing. I bought the vote. So how dare you come and question me? And that is why our electorate needs to stop. Today you are getting cocoa. How long are you going to get cocoa in 4 years? And if you continue to get cocoa in 4 years, would that be enough to satisfy your essential needs? That is what electorates need to know. That when politicians come in and they are given those material things, we should turn around and say, what are they for? It is governance.
Now let's move away a little bit to something else that has to do with manifesto that you touched on earlier. Now, the manifestos and the delays associated with it moving into the election year. Now, some say the majority of Ghanaians don't need to, get access to a manifesto before they make a voting decision, because people vote on different ideologies. Someone can just vote because he thinks that you are handsome. Some will vote because he thinks that you speak his language. So you don't necessarily need a manifesto. Is that the case?
That is a very wrong assumption. That is a very wrong assumption, and that's why I feel that if politicians, the political parties do not pay real attention to the changes that is going on, some of them would have to laugh at the wrong side of their mouth. The Ghanaian electorate at every election is becoming enlightened. We have the core supporters who would vote for you irrespective of whether you gave them an idea of what you do for them or not. The people that are very critical are the floating voters. The floating voters, many tend to be those in middle class. They are paying attention to what you claim you do. They are listening to you, they want to hear something. If we continue to think that our electorate are still the electorate of yesteryears, things might change. Because of the myriad of FM stations and media stations.
They haven't changed. If they have changed, really, they'll be going for cocoa and other small things as a way of buying their votes.
I refer to the floating voters. Many of them are middle class. Many of them are educated.
Okay.
Many of them are paying attention to what the government claims they will do. Those are the people that change their votes. Many a time, the people that are rushing, some of them in the lower class, some of them for poverty and others will go after some of these material things. But they do not make any difference in terms of winning an election. It's the floating voters, those that will give you their votes based on your conviction that you're ready to govern. These are the individuals that politicians need to pay attention to. They are becoming more enlightened. And if we continue to think that these individuals are not paying attention to what we are doing, it might surprise us. And I think that it is morally right for these political parties to know that if we are talking about governance, we need to give people an idea of what we'll do in the next 4 years. That is why we struggle. We come into office not prepared about what we say we should do. Then we can go around and say, well, the 4 years is not enough because we use 1 year to plan. No, you don't need 1 year to plan. You have to plan before you get there. Those manifestos and a clear idea of how they'll be implemented is the beginning of the plan. It's the beginning of governance.
The point has been well made. Dr. Edward Brenya is a lecturer at the Department of History and Political Science. We are grateful that you joined us tonight on News at 10. Thank you very much. That's it for the big one. We take a break. We'll return shortly.